Kofira man. I don't know this kind of hats that they were for everyone, but today I've confirmed I will buy one also. I thought they were for only State House, but now it's understandable they are for everywhere. I will get one also, that type.
Okay.
Back to you, Sabiti.
Thank you, Azra. So I will take it on number one, but still we need to will introduce our topic today, which involves three things which we have tried to split through. We have many fathers here. We have many people who have taken responsibility. Please feel free to guide and give your experience. That's why this call is somehow lengthy. Let's at least delve into all what we need, or our colleagues need to know. So the topic for today is going to be fatherhood, time management, and responsibility. As simple as
Sabiti, are you in presentation mode?
I think so.
Okay.
Is it something different on your end?
No, go on. Let me do something on my laptop. It's okay, go on.
Okay. So these are the simple, they look to be simple, but it is always hard for people to have successful stories in all the three we have said: fatherhood, time management, and responsibility. We are presenting this not that we have succeeded or I'm succeeding, but at least everyone here is in the path to success in all the three. But we need always to engage as a group of men. What does it really mean when we talk about fatherhood? Is it just having kids? What do we really mean when we talk about time management? Is it about looking at the clock from 8 to 5 and that's all for the day? What does it mean about responsibility? Is it about managing people and how you manage them? No. Maybe this session will give us more insights, and we try to do more of the biblical, bringing the Bible near to everyone. Now, I will welcome you again to today's session. The topic is actually it is touching, and to our society, it is important for all of us, the fathers and those who are to be fathers. So fatherhood, I'm looking at the importance of fatherhood. I broke this into three. That is looking at the roles and responsibility you as a father. What is the moral and the social responsibility you take? And what is the authority and submissions you have to carry as a father to a family? So fatherhood is more than just a title. It encompasses presiding over families with love and righteousness, providing for their necessities. We all know that. And on top of that, it is also protection. So fathers are always seen as the head of a family, to bear that responsibility, to lead and to have the accountability. So what does it mean? A father is not just being a biological representative to an offspring. It means a lot. So the moral and social responsibility you have here as a father is to become a role model to your offspring. So as we also know that fathers always play a crucial role in shaping, first of all, the character, values, and the future of their children. This one, you do it in emphasizing the importance of being a strong and a positive role model. So how do you be a role model? I tried to put some videos such that it depicts to what I'm speaking about. Being a father, it is not just having a kid and the whole responsibility is left to a mother. And I think at some time you should always have your laptop closed off your desk, even if you work remotely. Have your kid walk into the park, ask him questions, let him ask questions, become a role model. So that kid is looking up to you before even he looks up to the other fathers and the other people taking responsibility in other social platforms. you will not need your children to look up to a minister or an LLC chairperson on at the village before even they borrow the moral and the social responsibilities you as a father you carry. Then on the other part also, there is this thing we call submission, like the the children and the wife, they always have to submit to you as a father, but do they have to submit to you because you take that authority? How do you carry that authority? So this is always a concept that includes you being a head of a family. Where it is appropriate and right to submit, you carry it as the head of a family, and this aligns with the idea that fathers should lead their families. So, being a father, being a husband, it means that there is a lot you bring to the family. These two categories of people, the children and the wife, they all submit to you. And submitting to you means that you pave the direction they always have to take. If a father, you decide that we shall be always having things from the neighbors, your kids are going to be thieves, and you'll okay it in your family. And at the end of the day, this is the person you are giving to the public. So it is all about redirection. And we try to bring in the Bible. In Ephesians 5:23, it always states that for the husband is the head of the wife, and Christ is the head of the church, his body of which is the Savior. So you are the savior of your family, you are the head of your family, and you are the head of the wife or the daughter or the girl to someone's family. So I think I will leave Wazwa to take it on. Talk more about the favors in fatherhood. Wazwa, you can come in. Wazwa, if you're speaking, you're mute.
Sorry, I was on mute. Good evening once again. Let me take on the next slide. And the next slide is all about still fatherhood. And we're just asking here, we looked at different, both in the worldly realm and the spiritual realm, ideally, what is it that could enhance fatherhood? Because not everybody, you're not a father because you made a kid or you have a baby or you have a child. There's making the child and there's being the person who made the child and the father to that child. And we say all this comes up through fatherhood will be spiced up by favor. So if you have favor, and everybody has favor, it's the way you make sure that you spice it up to work within whatever you believe in and you're really. And favor, like we say, is ideally, for those of you who read the Bible, is Luke 1:28. That's chapter 1, verse 28. And we say God's grace, acceptance, goodwill, and preferential treatment in our lives. If you continue with that, you will see how favor comes in. But how do we cultivate this favor? Cultivating favor. Everyone is highly favored, like I've said. And like any fertile soils, favor needs supplements and preparation. How do you ignite favor? To increase your blessings into this fatherhood story or agenda. You look at Proverbs 18:22, but ideally, in that proverb, they say favor comes along through holy matrimony. So standing there and it's not holy matrimony and all that, yes, you have favor, but maybe you're deterring some of the things you'd have reached attached if it's not through holy matrimony. Yeah. And what is all about holy matrimony is finding a wife, because finding a wife brings favor from the Lord. For those of you again who read the Bible in Genesis 2:18, God's gift of Eve to Adam was a sign of favor for Adam to blossom. Also, when you look at Proverbs 8:35, they will always say, it's always said, a good wife is one of God's best blessings after wisdom. You will have favor after wisdom. That favor, the things that work for you, the things you think through, the things that make you be a father, it will be through this. So the takeaway out of this is favor is essential in being a father. And holy matrimony is of a significant way to ignite favor in your one being as a person. And I'm not saying those who are not into holy matrimony are not favored. Everybody was created by somebody somewhere, and you had your favor. But if it's at 80% and you want it at 100%, or you want your PD for favor to be above and beyond what is required, then the game of holy matrimony will come into play. Now, next, I'll look at our next point, which was the importance of time management. In all the things we do, in every encounter in our lives and all this, you see this even when people are celebrating birthdays, it's like, nkadiye, nenkozechi. There's a Chiganda song I normally love hearing. It's for back in the days. The young ones may not be here, know about it. But there was a man who used to work on CBS, he used to sing about Munseno Nkoze Muchi. What have I done in this world? It's time. You've spent here. What have you done? So, time. Concentrate all your thoughts upon the work in hand. This is a quote from Alexander Graham. Alexander Graham was Scottish, and he was a writer, he was a scientist, he was about three good things. He said, concentrate all your thoughts upon the work in hand. Simply meaning, what do you have in hand right now? Even before you start thinking about tomorrow or thinking about yesterday, what is at hand right now? For example, what is at hand right now is sharing this word with you. Concentrate your thoughts upon that work at hand. The sun's rays do not burn until brought to a focus. In our syllabus, we used to have a magnifying glass, and somehow until you focus it on what you want to see, will it give you a clear picture of exactly what you're focusing on. If you don't focus it, you will see lots of things and you will not know what to pick up. So here we look at redeeming the time because of its importance. How do we redeem it? There were two ancient Greek words used for time. One had the idea simply of the day or the hour, call it the moment. And the other one had the idea of a definite portion of time, a time where something should happen. What's the difference here? The difference is in two statements here. There is time and there is the time. So, and the difference between time and the time, it's about the idea here of time. It's a definite season of opportunity that a person must redeem. So, to further explain it, what do I mean by the time? The time, for example, from the time you were born to today is time. From time can be when you joined the kiosk to date is time. While the time is only used to refer to a moment in time being talked about. If you joined the kiosk in 2022 and we're in 2024, that's the time. Out of that time, what is the moment? What's that time you'll pick out and say, this and this happened? This and this happened. That's the difference between the two things, time and the time. So when you're managing, look at it, look at both, but try to see how have you managed time. Time you've been in kiosk, time you've been in this, time you've done this. And the time, during that time, there were moments, opportunities that came up, and you just closed your moment, made it happen, and off, you skyrocketed. That's how important time is. And if you're going to do time management, you need to differentiate between time and the time, because the time makes you or it breaks you if you don't take that opportunity. Biblically, we'll look at it in, if you read through Ephesians 5:15-16. Because the days are evil, every day you encounter different things. You wake up very happy, somebody annoys you. You wake up annoyed, somebody makes you laugh. It's another reason why it's important to walk wisely. So because of that, you always walk wisely, as in checking out. Am I taking this side or that, taking that side? Am I going to do this or I'm not going to do this? Will I do it or I won't do it? It's very important. So I would come up with two things and say, make the most of every moment is a good advice, because of every moment is the time I've been in kiosk every day. There is Friday, there is a party, we are going here. I can make the best out of that moment. Though, would that be the best advice, that because I do that, I'm a happy person, I'm this, is what makes me, or is what will propel me from this level to that level or to another level? And when you do that, you can seize the opportunity for glory. But is it the best out of the time you've been in kiosk? All out of that time, as you make every moment the best to be, have you picked out that time, the moment that it actually propelled me from A to B? It actually propelled me, and I had this dream, and I hit the nail on the head during the time. So the idea behind redeeming the time is that you buy an opportunity like a shrewd businessman. You make the most of every opportunity that comes your way. In your time, you've been in a place, a situation. What was that one moment that you defined as the time that made you propel from A to B or X to Y? And with that, I'll ask Sabiti to go to the next one as I take a glass of water.
Thank you, Wazwa. I'm going to take you in another topic, subtopic that we chose, that is responsibility and accountability. Yeah, most of us may understand this different. Yeah, we all are meant to get responsibilities, and everyone has their own opinions to carry on such a topic. Now, me splitting this, I started with how do we build trust and collaboration. So there is a quote that without accountability, there can be no trust, and without trust, there can be no meaningful collaboration. And that's true. The two move together, that you have always to own what you do if you want to gain collaboration and trust from your own colleagues. So what we need to know on this, that accountability fosters trust among team members. Yes, we have all worked with different teams. I will give an example, kiosk, that when I start off something and take responsibility to that, and it means that I will gain trust from my team, because anything that comes wrong, anything that goes right, I have to take it as my own responsibility. Then the team comes through to collaborate, because they know there is someone who started this, who knows how it is supposed to be handled, because it is always the initiator who always will bring up on table how to run a project, how to run a business strategy. But the team will always come in to collaborate and promote this to make it a culture. And from this, you'll always gain that respect and the teamwork. So where there is no accountability, there is no trust. The moment you start something, when it goes wrong, you blame others. When it goes right, you take the applause from those hidden boardrooms. It means that you're wrong. That's where we start losing respect. That's where we start losing the mutual culture that has already been developed in a business or a company like this. And that's where we lose teamwork. So the next thing is, how do you restore and support each other? So sorry, here I included sisters, but that's a quote. Brothers and sisters, if someone is overtaken in any wrongdoing, you who is spiritual, restore such a person with a gentle spirit. Watch out for yourselves so that you also won't be tempted. So we have always seen people going the wrong way. I'm not saying that we have always to take responsibility, but when you go to Galatians 6, 1 to 2, it tells you that me watching someone doing wrong, at some point it will catch up with me. I will also follow the same trend. Even though they succeed in that wrong, I may not take the same route to succeed. So watching someone doing fraud in a business and you don't speak out, it means at some point you'll feel like it is okay and people are succeeding in that. You'll take the same route and you may not succeed. Maybe you may be the bad luck in that course you have taken. So here in Galatians, we are called upon that when you see someone going wrong, a brother or a sister, make sure that you who is right and spiritual try to restore this person. And in that restoration, what you're doing, you're trying to watch out yourself, because the moment I restore a team, a group, or anyone who is going wrong, I already know what is wrong, what is right. It means that I can never take the wrong, because I've already taken a lead to restore anyone who is going wrong. So we have to hold each other always accountable for the acts we do. And in that, that is the care and support we give to our colleagues. So it involves guiding and helping each other, staying in the right path, and we ensure that everything done is in their corrective actions. And that will always uphold our passion and understanding on how we strengthen the community. So, brothers, men, you called upon always to restore and support each other. When you see me going wrong, call me aside, speak to me as a man. Then that one will bring respect to you, and it will bring something that you are watching out yourself, that you'll not fall or be attempted to do the same. So on top of that, I also look at the personal responsibility and seeking for help. So still looking at responsibility, um, any action you take and making a conscious choice, this one allows you to show that the community, to show God that God have started something. Please, I need your support, and I'm taking responsibility for whatever I'm doing. So when you have a dream, you always have to start. And the moment you start, even though you had a neighbor who wanted to support, This neighbor will come through because you have started, they will come always through and support. Even the prayers you have been having, God will not help you if you have not started. So whichever dream we have, always try to start. If you have a course, you have a degree, you have a master's, you feel like you want, you always kneel down and pray. And you never start, you never engage to even register for that course at any of the campus. Tell me, how are your prayers going to be answered? So it is always to start. And the moment you have started, that's when you start seeking for help, and help will always come through in handy. So we always have to embrace our responsibilities and owning all the actions and decisions we take, which will always involve recognizing the need, because the moment you start, you're giving recognition for the need of guidance and support from the higher powers and the community members. So I will take up the first part of this slide. I know Wazwa will help us delve more on the benefits of work and life integration. So to me, I will first, continuing from the previous, committing your work to the Lord. Whatever you're doing, the moment you're not committing your work to the Lord, I'm not saying you go to church. I'm not saying that you have to pray you have to have 5 prayers on a daily, but you have to commit to the Lord that every time you reach your desk, you just take a short prayer, even if it's 5 seconds. Oh Lord, here I am. So commit your work to the Lord, and your plans will always be established. That is from Proverbs 16, verse 3. Go read and actually go and read the whole chapter 16. It has a lot on commitment. So how we integrate with that, it is always, we are calling upon company, we are calling always upon us, the employees, to leverage on the company resources, utilizing them with flexibility, that if I'm working remotely, uh, just have that faith of giving out those 8 hours to the company that they pay for, and give even the family the time they deserve. So that is balancing the profession and the personal responsibilities you as a man you hold. Then encouraging family and friendly policies. That's advocating policies that support your family, such as asking for a parental leave. Most of the times, we are not made to be always in offices. We are not made to be always at work. At some point, we have people who need our attention. So you can always ask for that parental leave, child care assistance. Yes, we as men, we feel like we are always busy, that I can't take my kid to the hospital because the mom is there. But it speaks a lot, and it takes you to understand a lot. This time, when you say, today I will take this kid, I will book an appointment with a doctor, go talk to the doctor, go talk to the class teacher, go talk to, that child care assistance is always a requirement to you as a father. Whether you can come in and take us through how we should balance our work and life and how they integrate. Then from there, the same presenter will take us through the summary to this presentation. Then we shall officiate in the Q&A. Whether you can come in.
Good. Let me just summarize it. Okay. The summary to this, okay, the work-life balance, like Chris has talked about it. Let me just try to do it in 3. I'll do it according to the 3 areas we're looking at. One, of course, he has talked about the benefits, increased satisfaction, stronger family bonds. He's already talked about how you integrate that, leveraging between company resources and courage. And he's talked about the family friendly policies. Now, if I can summarize it for both slides, not to really overlay you, I'll start from the first one. And the first one being, we talked about fatherhood. I mean, this is the summary I can share. The main word that came out of that was submission. And normally, if you told your wife, your girlfriend, anybody relating to and talk about submission, there's a way it's defined by everybody. Share, Nzani, I'm the one bringing this, the one bringing this, but that's not what it means. By submission, a good example I can give for submission, at least all of us did some bit of biology. Look at your head. Your head has the brain, mostly all the five senses of the body, the eyes, the nose for tasting, for smelling, for hearing, for seeing, and all that. But where does all this communication come to? This is the head. And it's the one that feeds the body actually because it has the mouth. All this head is connected to the rest of the body through the spinal cord. And this spinal cord always gets messages from the feet, the legs, the lungs, and all this, transmits it to the brain interprets, and then descends back the information to the rest of the body on what to do. You as the head, you are the head with those five senses. Communication to you, to that head, would be the spinal cord, and the spinal cord in this scenario would be, that's your wife, that's your spouse. Now, what happens in the home, all these other things, the children and all this, I hear the askari did not do this, Yaka is finished and all that, is communication to the spinal cord, who is your spouse, and your spouse will pass on the information to the head. And the head will direct whether we walk that way, or it tastes bad, or smells bad, or we have had, or we have not had. That's the story around submission as a unit of your family, as a unit of your relationship. I can't summarize it better than that, but that's the whole story around submission. Then point number 2 was about time management. Time management, there are 2 key things we pick out. Time. The time from when you were born, from your birth date to your birthday, the time when you joined kiosk to today, the time when you met this spouse today, and all that. And the time, during that time, what are these things your children will always talk about, will always remember you about, your in-laws, your own family, your own this. It's always those moments that make this relationship to show that you manage your time and the time properly. And I always tell people, show me the man and I'll tell you the spouse this man has. Because they'll always define each other. By straight away, I will tell, this man here does not miss visitations or not. I will tell if I'm keen enough. And I will only tell because I will tell from the way you manage the time and time. So, simple example. If I'm at a state of being somewhere and I can live by supplementing my income through getting loans, I will ask myself from the time I joined kiosk to today, 3 years or what, when is the time when I secured a loan from the men's circle, or when is the time I actually formed the men's circle that it could give me a loan? If it's there, everybody will be able to tell, because I'll be telling people, you see that car? I got a loan from the kiosk men's circle and bought the car. Or I'm still on this bicycle because I could not get a loan from the men's circle. Was even the men's circle there or not there? How did we manage our time and the time? Then the third one is about responsibility and accountability. Accountability tantamounts to trust. The moment you account for your time, for your moment, for everything you do, the moment you have submission from your spouse, you will automatically submit. The moment the spinal cord sends a message to the head, the brain submits by sending back, descending back message. When there is that kind of relationship, you as a father, then there will be trust. And the moment there is trust, collaboration is automatic. Whether today you ate in tula or beans or meat, everybody will be happy because you collaborate, you have the trust to understand the beans were because we could not afford meat. And it's because of this, because somebody accounted for every time and penny that he could not get the meat. When this happens, accountability, trust, collaboration, you'll always have peace and joy within you. There's something I normally share with the male. I normally tell them, every time you sit as males, they will tell you, you know me, I can't give my land title, I can't show it to my wife. These days, women are this, the women do this. But when you sit also with the female, they also tell you men are this, men are this. Already there is lack of trust. That means they are not accounting to each other. That means there is no collaboration. But gentlemen, I can tell you, a man lies, a woman lies, a man is even a very, very good liar. But can I tell you the reason why you should lie? Because you lie too, and you can stand the situation. That's because women are very tender, they can't stand some of these things. You lie to them so that you can account for those moments and gain trust so that there is collaboration in a home. All these three, always spice them. Everybody, you have your faith where you fall. Everyone, you have your creator. But that faith, always make sure you commit all these things so that everything can smoothly move on. Back to you, Sabiti. That's my conclusion and summary.
I think you have done justice to the presentation. Even the person who joined late should have picked something. And the next session, before we go to the next session, that is the Q&A. Actually, what are the call-outs we have to action for us, the audience? First of all, it is all now to reflect on your roles and responsibilities. Ideally, that's what we have gone through. And another one is to implement strategies as discussed for better time management and responsibility. That's what I felt like it was the call to action. Now we are going to open the audience, the mic to the audience for Q&A. At least
I just want to thank Sabiti and Wazwa for presenting this. Wazwa, I think you really summarize everything. And for the people who are coming on board the fatherhood, I think this is the way to go. And I think Wazwa can be a very good coach to us. Will have the guys will be having young family. Even if I have a bigger family still, I think Wazwa, I'll be consulting you. Sabit is more of a finance person. We can give a lot of advice on how to balance your finance and home. So thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. I think
You're welcome.
Thank you, Dennis. Yes, Charles.
First of all, I thank you so much, Chris. Thank you so much, Waswa. It's been really a session of learning, and I have been challenged over a few things as a new father, but also how to balance between work and family and life and career. But my question is that I just wanted to get more clarity from Wazwa. He talked about time and the time. time and the time. And if I got him right, he said time is uh, uh, the moment, if I put it, or it is a specified period of time or specified period in a moment, but the time is like that particular spot where something happens and it's like remarkable, memorable. But I just wanted to throw more light on that. I just didn't get that so well. Thank you.
Okay, let me just give you the insight here. I don't know whether I want to use an example that, let me take, if you follow sports, the fastest man on universe, Usain Bolt. I don't know whether you followed, you've ever bothered, but you can follow. Now, let me use Usain Bolt. Usain Bolt, fastest man, 100 meters, over 100 meters, 9 point something seconds. From the start line, where there would normally be about, I think, 7 to 10 people, it always happened that is going to be the last. For the first 40 to 60 meters, he would be doing not like I'm going to take on this. 40 to call it 30 to 50 meters. But he has started, he's running 100 meters. The first, say, 30 to 50 or 55 meters, the guy is like the third or second, somewhere around there. After the 60th meter, that was always the time that the man you'd start knowing that is winning up this. Actually, always the last 40 meters, after the 60 meters, that's when you'd say the man is beating these people off. Now, time is from 0 meters to 100 meters for Bolt. The time is that 60th, in the 60th meter, the time in the 60th meter, that's when the man wins it off. So time is the time taken to do the 100 meters, which is 9.78 seconds. But the time is that 7 second or 6 second when the guy wins it off. I hope I've tried to explain the difference between time and the time.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Azwa. I have now got it pretty well. Thank you.
Take the honor to thank Shafiq, who made it with HR to make sure that we have this session at least before we close off the month of June. And I think more will come always through. And Shafiq, as always the organizer, he will make it through and communications will come through. So we pray hard that our next session should be a physical one for the social capital networking and all that. Let's pray hard and organize prior to have it physical than online as we have done today. So Shafiq, you will take on with the final remarks to the team as we prepare to close off.
Thank you, everyone, Sabita and Wadwa, who have managed and handled this very well. It has been a very, very educative session, and a great appreciation to everyone who have spared their time and they joined into the call. And I hope everyone has picked insights in what has been discussed. So we can start from here. We put it in our daily life. We take it back to our families and even where we are working from for the betterness of we the men.